am right now in the Armenian quarter of the old city of Jerusalem. And I just want to tell you about a situation that has been ongoing and now is reaching a boiling point here, right here in the heart of Jerusalem, in the old city, in the most contested piece of real estate on the planet, um, in Jerusalem. So the Armenian quarter is about 1/6 of the old city, so clearly not a quarter. So very small. But what happened was in the last 2 years, it became apparent that that a deal was signed 2 years ago to lease a large plot of land, which I will show you here. I'm standing here actually, but to lease a large plot of land, as you can see behind me, all the way to the wall of the old city, for 49 years with an option to lease for another 49 years. The company that signed the lease is called Zana Gardens, and it is owned by Danny Rubenstein, or Danny Rothman. Very little is known about him. I just read an investigative piece about who he is. He's a businessman, an Australian Israeli businessman, and he is in real estate. And so the plan, according to what we've been able to attain from the municipality, looks to be a luxury hotel that would be built on these grounds. Now, um, that is, what's proposed. That's what's out there. The fear of people in the Armenian Quarter, of the current residents of the Armenian Quarter, is that this is actually a front for a takeover uh, of Armenian land, of Christian church land, um, by a Jewish developer, by whether it's another way to extend the Jewish presence in the old city. And that is something, why that's crucial is because that's something that was never able to be accomplished through negotiations. Like, for instance, Camp David, they were negotiating over if the old city would be divided, that it would go to a Palestinian state, and then it would go to the state of Israel, who would get what. And according to several people, the Camp David Accords failed over the issue of the Armenian Quarter. So the Armenian Quarter would. Israel said it should be ours because this is the access to the Western Wall from West Jerusalem. And Yasser Arafat, the former, the late Palestinian leader, said that his name is Yasser Arafatian, which, adding the IAN, say I'm Armenian, that the Armenians are Palestinian and that the Armenian Quarter should remain with us. So clearly it's a contentious piece of land. Now, the people who live here are neither Palestinian nor Israeli. They're Armenian. They are Christian, and they have been here since the year, well, in 301, Armenia itself, the country of Armenia, became the first Christian nation. And from that point on, Armenians made pilgrimages here to Jerusalem to learn more about their faith, to learn more about Christianity and where Jesus lived and where he walked and where he died and was buried and rose again, which is all right here in Jerusalem. So that's how the Armenian Quarter got its start, was actually from pilgrims that came here to this very plot of lands, and that is ancient. I mean, they have history here. So the fear is that by giving up this land right here, that they will be pushed out. And actually, if you think about it, if they have nowhere to park, then you have no way to get to work. You have no way to get to school. Like, this is, you park by where you live or work, and without that, that you do not have the ability to live or work in a certain place. So there are also homes right here. I think there's 5 families that live behind this wall right here. There are 5 families that live here. And then this is part of the seminary for the priests that come to study here. So all of this land, and it could possibly go even beyond this, and there's a couple of stores, a restaurant, and it goes all the way to the police station. And then the police station, which is on Armenian land as well, but has been leased to the Israel police. So that goes all the way to Jaffa Gate. So it would basically extend what they say, what a lot of people fear is like that it would extend a Jewish presence from Jaffa Gate to here, meaning it would basically push out the Christians and the Armenians. So why is this crucial? It's not that they say, oh, you can't have a Jewish presence, but what has happened in the last couple of months is there has actually been a lot of attacks on Christians by Jewish extremists that walk through the old city right here. Like this is the main path to the Western Wall, and they have been attacked with pepper spray, with knives, punch. They've had physical altercations, and also uh, vandalism. There was a Christian cemetery right out here that was vandalized. The Armenian Quarter has been vandalized, graffiti scribbled saying death to Christians, death to Armenians. So it's been very targeted and specific attacks right here. So there is a very unsettled. So this is actually coming up at a time, in this time, where it's a very unsettled atmosphere for the Armenians who live here. So in April of this year, in April 2023, the deal came to light, and a sign, actually Zana Gardens or Zana Capital, placed a sign outside the parking lot saying this is our property, private property. So that's when things really kicked off, and the activists here in the Armenian community started protesting weekly against the deal. Now, here's the problem with the deal. It has been signed by the legal signatories of the Armenian Patriarchate, including the Armenian Patriarch himself. So he signed this deal in 2021, including also a priest who has since been defrocked and has had left for California. It was basically chased out of here by residents, angry residents. So the deal is it looks to be legal. However, on October 26th, the Patriarch sent a letter of his intention to cancel the deal. So right now, there needs to be an order to stop the work, but there isn't yet an order to stop the work. So the people, the developers coming with workers to start the work. So they started here, and you see this wall that they're knocking down. And also they've got their bulldozers parked out there to start the work. But every time they've come to start it, people have come out to protest. So now you see there's a tent over there behind where that plastic, the plastic is. And then over here, there's two more tents. And people have been here 24/7 in the meantime to try to be the human, to form a human chain to say, like, no, you will not start the work here. And it's gotten pretty violent also with, they brought the workers, the developer came, the company came with armed security guards with attack dogs, and have basically tried to intimidate the people into moving so that they can begin the work. So I'm going to look for some people to speak with. I had, oh, look, they're doing an interview right there. Can I turn this around? Let's see. I'm new to this Restream.
The party arrived by himself, and he stood as well with yesterday night.
So, as Hagop is saying, he's one of the activists here. The Patriarch has now, of course, I did say that he, issued a letter with the intent to cancel it. And he showed up at one of the protests last week when the workers were here and the armed guards. And that was the first time that he had come to one of these since this became public in April. So he wants wants to cancel the deal, but there's lawyers involved now, and to see that can happen. So, anyway. Well, the other thing is, the country is at war. There's a big mess. This was really interesting timing that they chose to start the work. They had 2 years. The contract was signed 2 years ago, and yet they came now to start the work. And when most of the country is focused on war, on both the Israeli side and the Palestinian side, anybody who is interested, all activists, all media is focusing on either the plight of the Israelis or the plight of the Palestinians. So now is a perfect time to come in when nobody's paying attention to what seems to be such a small issue in the big scheme of what's happening. So, all right, I can't find the ambassador right now. I wanted to speak with the Armenian ambassador who showed up as well. So, anyway, that's the situation. It's quiet right now, but there were police here this morning, and they said that they were going to be coming back later. But I just wanted to get here now while I can. I'm going to have to leave for the afternoon, but I just wanted to get here now and just give you an update of what's happening, because this is important and things are going down, and pretty soon could possibly boil over. So this is some background, just so you know, and definitely this is one of the things that we will be following, because it will change the history of Jerusalem, actually. So anyway, that's it for now.